last 50 years, thousands of men in the UK have donated sperm. 53-year-old Luke was a donor as a young man, helping couples to start families. He now wants to come forward and discover if he may have any biological sons or daughters, looking for their donor father. Hello, mate. Hi, Luke.
Can we shake?
Stacey.
We can shake now. can't we?
We can shake, we just can't snog. No kissing in the park.
Right.
So lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. Luke, why don't we start off by establishing why we're here?
30 years ago, I was a sperm donor. For about 4 years, I donated sperm. And recently, well, I suppose life events, it gave me a bit of time to think, and I thought I'd try and find out if anything had happened. Because when I first started donating, it was totally anonymous, and there's no way of even tracing it, apart from possibly DNA.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
How old were you when you first gave sperm?
19. I did it in Birmingham first. I went to university to study music, drama and dance. I was a typical drama student. And by then, I think I had an inkling I was probably gay. For the first 6 months, I'm all leg warmers. We all thought we were kids from Fame in the 80s. Originally, when I started donating sperm, we used to get paid £7 at the beginning. We do that twice a week. That's a couple of nights at the pub. For me, with no inclination to have a family of my own, no downside at all. I think around mid-80s was the peak of the AIDS fear. There was a lot of stigma around HIV. So, as part of sperm donating, you got a free HIV screening. It didn't go on your medical record, it was anonymous. And it was also for peace of mind. I think I was about 23 when I stopped.
It's a fair stint.
Yeah, it is a fair stint.
Every week?
Twice a week.
Twice a week?
Twice a week, yeah.
But it could be that there are lots and lots of people that have been conceived by your sperm out there.
If we're talking like in the numbers up, it starts to become a bit of a horrifying thought because it's like...
I'm just sitting twice a week for 4 years.
Yeah, doing the maths, I'm starting to go, well, yeah, it could be a lot.
We're here now.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'd spoken to a lot of people who never found out who their real parents or their biological parents were or whatever. And it always troubled them. And I just thought, well, there's people out there that would probably just like to know. If I can give them that, and if I can give them that before anything happens to me. Because I was made very aware that something could happen to me. I got a little bit of a hint of mortality in a way. My best friend died just before Christmas. And it was, yeah, totally out of the blue. It floored me completely. And it did make me go, well, I might not be here forever. Anything could happen. Yeah, but it got me thinking about that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and just, yeah, doing the right thing.
So it feels like you've given this sort of real thought, serious thought.
Mm.
You're here if we were to find, any other, feels weird saying children. They wouldn't be children anymore, would they?
Mm.
Like young adults.
Yeah.
If they had any questions, you'd
Yeah.
be more than happy to meet
Yeah,
with the...
I mean, I'd answer any questions I could. I mean, if they do look me up on the internet, they'd have a surprise, probably.
What would they find?
I'm a cabaret performer, you see. Yes. So it's how will they take that? As a cabaret performer, I'm not perhaps the normal biological father. Whoever's your dad is the one who brings you up. I'm not aiming to become a sudden father at 53. I can't. It's too late. Best case scenario is that they're very happy with their family, but they just sort of want an extra little connection. An Uncle Luke.
To find out whether there is anyone out there looking for him, Luke has come to meet Turi at the University of Leicester. His DNA will be used to see if he has any matches on the databases.
Come on in, sit down.
Hiya.
Hello, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How can I help you?
I started donating sperm when I was at college, and I ended up doing that for about 5 years. So I'm here to put myself on the database to help people find me, really. If those people would just like to know where they came from.
I have to say, I think you're the first sperm donor that I have met, and particularly one who wants to come forward, because it's actually quite a rare thing.
Really?
Yeah. So you tend to hear from people who are donor-conceived children who would like to meet, half-siblings, or even potentially get to know who their sperm donor father was. But I think this is the first time it's the other way around.
I'm curious about, my biological children, and I suppose I'd like to meet them and see what they're like. So, yeah, here I am.
I think for so many donor-conceived kids, they are missing that bit, and so many would love that information. So obviously, because you've been donating sperm for years, you might have a lot of donor-conceived kids.
There's a thought.
There's a thought. Or there might be none. I mean, the main way to do this is to go through the donor-conceived register, and that was set up for people to be able to see if they can find donor-conceived siblings, but also information about any donor parents. So that's the main way to go. One of the things that you'll have to bear in mind is that we are completely at the mercy of who's in the databases. But I think what you're doing is giving people this opportunity to find you if they want to, which is really nice. Okay, so I need your DNA. There you go.
Okay.
Luke's DNA will now be added to the donor-conceived register, as well as worldwide databases, to discover if he has any biological children. His results will also remain on the databases should anyone come forward in years to come. "30 years after he first donated sperm, Luke will find out if he has any biological children that are trying to make contact.
I'm trepidatious. It'd be lovely to have some sort of relationship in that sense of, children suddenly find their long-lost dad. I'd love to know what they're doing. Curiosity. I think I'm ready to open this door right now. It could change my life.
come on in.
Hi.
Hello, it's lovely to see you again.
Nice to see you again, yeah.
Okay, so when I first met you, it was because you wanted to find out if you had any sperm donor children. And that was because you had donated sperm hundreds of times in the 1980s when you were at university. So we know that so far there's been only around 200 men who have come forward who have lifted their right to anonymity.
Right, that's a tiny number, yes.
Yeah. You know, you are part of a very unique group of men. So there was always going to be two shots at finding any donor-conceived children. And the first was to upload your DNA to the worldwide databases. And when we looked through all of these databases, not a single person was on there who looks like they are your donor child.
Yeah.
But that was going to be just, you know, a route. But the main thing was actually to go on the donor conceived register and make yourself available for any donor conceived children who were looking for you. So the results are in, and we've got an email from the donor conceived register. But only you can open it.
Right.
Right, you ready?
Okay.
So let me give you this. So there you go, so it's just there.
Just open this.
Just take your time.
Comparison of your sample with the current donor-conceived individuals has not revealed a link. I'm aware that this may be disappointing for you, but we will continue to compare your sample with all new registrants and will write to you if we have any positive findings in the future.
So no children on the donor conceived register. It's not that you don't have donor conceived children out there. It's hugely possible that you could have dozens of donor conceived children.
Yeah.
They may not know that they are donor conceived, because the only way they're going to know is if their parents have told them. Equally, you can have people who know that they're donor conceived and they're completely relaxed about the whole thing. They don't feel a need at this point to find anything further. They may do in the future. They may never feel the need to find out. It's early days, really early days. So it could easily be that you have dozens of children out there. They're not yet on the donor conceived register, and that register is growing all of the time. Give it a few months and you get an email.
Yeah, that was something that was occurring to me more and more over that this is kind of a lifetime thing. It may be that I'm 80 and someone will come up and go, excuse me.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So though it hasn't turned out quite how we would have hoped, that is actually the reality, I suppose, of genetic testing.
Yeah. I was always happy with either result, to be honest with you. I'm cool with that. I mean, that's what it was all for.
So I know you're going to go and see Stacey now.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see her again. All right, thanks very much, Turi.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Hello, Luke.
Hello.
How's things?
Not bad, not bad.
Good.
Yeah.
Pleased to
Been
see
worse.
you.
Lovely.
Thanks for coming out. So, talk to me. How are you feeling?
Kind of the same, actually, now, because there were no results that came back this time.
What's your overriding emotion in your heart of hearts, in your gut? Are you relieved? Are you disappointed?
It's interesting because it's I for a while I was thinking, oh well, you know, I'll find out then, and then that's it. But that isn't it, is it? You know, I've found out how it is now. That's all it is.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crazy interesting.
I am amazed that so few men have come forward out of the thousands that donated. Yes, I think in a way, I've done the right thing. And so I'm happy I can move on. Yeah.
And if somebody gets in touch further down the line, brilliant.
Well, I hope I can do the right thing again. And no news is good news. You would hope with all of, most people who'd been waiting and trying everything to have a child would provide a really nice environment for their children. And it seems that's been the case, hopefully. So, job done.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's see what happens further down the line.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, come back to me in 40 years.
No regrets.
No.
But thank you ever so much for, being so honest and so generous. And yeah, really appreciate it.
Thank you for being so lovely. Thinking about how many people there could be out there always makes me smile a bit. It did something nice for people. And I think helping people have children, that is something I have put into the world. I mean, that's surely a good thing. Having my DNA somewhere, for me, it's just providing a piece of the puzzle for somebody else.